The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
Earnestly Podcast. It is now part 2 of our NBA season preview. As now we do probably the favorite of the 2 episodes. We get to rank our top 25 players in the NBA heading into this coming season. Of course, we have 2 guys here, Kris Krizmanic, Zack The Degenerate. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
All right, let's get this party started. I'm ready to go, man. I mean, Chris White gave me a teaser. What's going on with his list? You want to go ahead and say it, Chris?
Oh yeah, LeBron's out to 25 this year.
Oh fuck! I thought I had that shot. Same here, man. That fucking
and that's where we'll start this episode.
Thunder.
That's where we'll start this episode. Here we go. Number 25. I guess we'll go in the order of me, Chris, Zach, right? I guess.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But
You asked
me. Should we let Chris give his honorable mention then?
No, because if he does that, then it's spoilers there, I guess.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
Yeah. You asked me the question about Zach about Jimmy Butler 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
25 for me is Jimmy Butler.
He made your list? That's crazy.
Barely. And I honestly, the original list I had when I first did the list over the summer, he was not in the top 25.
I'm going with the new Jimmy Butler, two-way superstar, Jalen Williams of the Thunder, 25.
Wow. Really?
He showed enough in the playoffs, playmaking. He evolved from just a 3-and-D guy to a playmaker.
If he showed more, they would have freaking won that series.
Yeah, but he did. Dude, Chet and them fucking let them down.
Showed during the season. He showed he can be a Robin to Shea during the regular season.
He established that he is Robin. I thought maybe Chet would be Robin. Jalen Williams is definitely Robin on that team.
Absolutely. All right.
25
Go ahead, Ernest. My bad.
No, go ahead. 25 to you. I get mine.
He did win Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot because it was so bad.
Yeah, Ernest is all washed up team.
It was him and Bam.
I know no one's going to put a single player on a losing team on their top 25. So I'm going to do it. All right. Lori, almost every team in the league would love to trade for you because you are a stud player. So at 25, I have Lori Marketing.
He was on my honorable mentions team.
I don't hate that at all. He got consideration for me as well too.
Yeah.
In that spot. So, all right, 24 for me. And I struggled with this one too also, but he did stay healthy last year, so I have to give some love. Paul George, 24 for me.
He didn't make my team. That dude ain't playing no back-to-backs. If you ain't playing back-to-backs, you ain't my fucking team. Yeah, on my 25. Except for Embiid. Embiid's the only guy on my list.
Right.
But Kawhi, Paul George, all those guys are off the list this year.
Oh, Kawhi's not on my list. Not on my list this year either.
This guy is on a losing team, Zach. I'm going Scotty Barnes, 24.
Whoa!
Because he averaged, not only did he take everything up a notch, he also averaged over a block and a steal per game, in addition to the playmaking, the rebounding, and the scoring. Give me Scotty Barnes, 24.
All right, 24 for you.
I don't hate you still on an honorable mention, man. It's all good.
No, go ahead. 24 for you, Zach.
At 24, the Knicks wanted him. The Heat wanted him. And you know where he went? Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell at 24.
Ooh, that's low.
That's low? Are you serious? Do you know what he
Wow.
does? He only gets your team to the first round of
No,
the
no, no.
playoffs.
Let me finish it with it. It's low, but understandable.
Yeah.
First round and out.
Yeah.
No matter what your talent is around.
It's low but understandable. I get it. And to be honest with you, when I was doing this list originally, too, also he was in the 20s actually at one point for me.
Yeah.
So, all right, 23 for me. De'Aaron Fox.
Me too.
Whoa.
You two also, De'Aaron Fox.
Me too.
Nice.
De'Aaron
All
Fox,
right.
23.
All right.
Fuck.
What
I'm
about
gonna
you?
have to readjust my list because I have him a lot lower.
He's on a list. He's on a list. Well, okay.
No, I mean correction. I have him much higher.
Higher, right? Okay.
No.
What's 23 for you then, Zachary?
23. I have Bam.
Okay, I like it.
All right, he can do it all. All right,
Honestly, but
and he's the only consistent thing in Miami for why they win.
Can I confess them right now? If I were to change my list right this second now, modification, take out Jimmy, put in Bam instead.
You don't have Bam in your 25?
Yeah.
No.
I would have thought you
What
were
a fan are you? What the fuck?
I'm changing it. 25 is Bam for me now. That's it. I'm doing it.
That's crazy.
Will you at least do it with the amendment that he plays harder and plays more games?
That's exactly why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to rub the salt into Jimmy's wounds a little.
All right. So
that's crazy.
My last minute modification, 25 for me is Bam Adebayo. He probably should be a little higher than that, to be honest with you, but whatever.
All
right. 22 for me. 22 for me, Damian Lillard.
Sorry.
He sniffed your. He didn't even sniff my top 25.
I can't even find him in the field.
Dude, what? You have the all-time fucking team, dude. This is top 25 this year, man.
This guy, there's some guys still hanging on.
He's not, dude. His efficiency dropped off the toilet. His defense is non-existent. He did not mesh well. And nothing changed. The coaching's still there. I don't see any hope for that connection working out.
All right.
My number 22 is a guy that I'm sure neither one of you have. I have Mikal Bridges. I think this year he's gonna be Robin to Jalen Brunson's Batman. He's gonna have a phenomenal year. People forgot how good he was defensively because he kind of fell off last year because he had to do so much more offensively on that garbage ass Nets team. I think this year you're gonna see his playmaking, his cutting, everything that you want from him is going to show out this year because he's going to have to handle the ball as well. Big time from Mikal Bridges this year.
Okay. 22 for you, Zachary.
So, I don't know if I'm going to trigger Kris yet, but I feel like I am. And I made mention to this when we were talking about Sacramento. Give me Sabonis at 22.
Okay.
What do you mean? I've always had Sabonis higher than everybody every year.
He's on my list too. Also,
I feel like you just hate on him so much.
No, that's Ernest.
No, not me either.
Ernest.
No, not even me. He's made my list last 2 years also too.
I've had him on.
Talk about him. People hate on him.
No, he's a bit. I have him at 21 actually. Just to piggyback, I have him at 21. So.
All right. 21.
Right.
Okay, so you have 21.
Lord,
okay, cool.
I guess I'm having hallucinations already.
So 21 for me, obviously, this is tough for me because if he's healthy, you see the impact. Zion Williamson, 21. He was healthier last year, and you saw the impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
5.8 rebounds a game, dude.
I get it.
Do you know what they won when he was on the court playing? For how many games they won when he wasn't playing?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So Zion 21 for me. Who got 21? You had Sabonis 21, Kris. Zach, who you got 21?
So after hearing y'all on Fox, I'm gonna move him down my list.
De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah. Nah, he wasn't 21 even, but I'm gonna drop him down a little bit just because I feel like maybe I'm misjudging his talent. So I just put Sacramento guys 21-22.
So you put Fox 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason why I have them so low is because they super underachieved last year.
They lost their 6-man and basically they're one of their top 2 shooting guards. I mean, they lost 2 key guys going into the playoffs.
I don't care.
All
They
right.
you can't go from 2 seed to play in. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. 20 for me. I got Tyrese Maxey.
Fair.
Yeah, Tyrese
Yeah.
Maxey,
I have
phenomenal year last year. I honestly wanted to put it even a little bit higher but I think because the Sixers, and not necessarily his fault, but even though he was great, even in Embiid's absence, they weren't winning games. So there's obviously a ceiling with him being the guy. But he's still that damn good. So Maxey at 20 for me.
I have
20
Donovan Mitchell at 20.
Okay.
He's just underachieved in the playoffs
Yeah.
to break that 20 mark. Like, I think I had him at like 14 or 15 last year. He's just every year, same story. Now, granted, he's putting up good stats, but the guys he's guarding are just going off too. So
Yeah.
at that point, I just can't see him being any higher than 20 every year.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Again, like Zach said earlier, but with him at 20, was it 24? Yeah, I don't know, 25 him.
Yeah, I had him at 23.
Yeah.
Or no, 24, excuse me.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
20 for you, Zach.
Yeah. So again, could never put a guy that high on a list who doesn't play defense and has all his teammates basically around him all the time. Me, I'm going to pick a guy who you already know 2 of his teammates are going to miss like 20 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you, Ernest. Maxey at 20.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like it. All right. Number 19 for me. Welcome back, John Morant. I really want to put him higher also too, but I got to make sure he stays on the court first before I reward him. But this to him, again, this the fact that the little he played last year after suspension and the immediate impact he had on that team, he's definitely top 20 player in the league now. If he becomes the guy again he was 2 years ago, he's close to top 10. Just that simple. Or maybe top 10 at all, So John Morant, and of course injuries, of course, to stay healthy. But for now, John Morant, 19. We'll go with that for now. This is safety. This is an insurance policy thing for me. So, all right. 19 for you, Kris.
I got Bam, 19.
Wow.
He does it all, man. He scores, defends every position. Man's never in a bad spot. He's the leader of that team. Give me Bam.
All right. 19 for you, Zach.
And 19 for me. I have the all-time scorer. I have the second greatest player of all time.
Tim Duncan?
I have a man who has gone from Batman to Robin. I have LeBron James.
Okay. I don't hate that, actually. I don't agree, but I don't hate it.
Respect by keeping him in the top 20.
Yeah, I totally understand it. Unlike Kris here.
I'm the biggest LeBron fan. He's out my 25 this year.
I know. That's the shocking part. All right, number 18 for me. This is where I had Domantas Sabonis. So I'm higher than both of you guys this year.
He had like 70 straight double-doubles last year and led the league in triple-doubles. Like, he's his
only issue is he can't stay out of foul trouble. So it was the only issue. Other than that, he's a phenomenal player. Productive, healthy, always healthy, grinder, the whole nine. Yes, he's great. I love him. So he's a bonus on number 18. 18 for you, Kris.
I have him a little higher than both you guys. I have Tyrese Maxey at 18.
Okay, I like it.
Slowly transitioning to his team. I mean, he shows up and plays. He's probably the fastest dude in the league.
Easily.
Yeah.
Him and Ja.
But he's a stud. He's going to carry them when Embiid and PG aren't around. And yeah.
I know you say he's more to his team because, like, at the more that Embiid breaks down, his body breaks down the floor, it's more Maxey reps. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, 18 for you, Zachary.
So this is the one I know I am completely off on, but this is a guy I never saw win when it was his team. This is a guy who I have watched so many elimination games, and he never shows up.
It's Devin Booker.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
I
is.
love it. I love it. I thought he dropped on my list all this year too. Also, you'll see in a second. So I like it because he was top 10 you list last year. I know for a fact.
All the talent on offense, and he could be a great defender, but he never wants to be a two-way player, and he does not know how to help his teammates.
Oh, you guys are haters right now.
I think Booker is slightly overrated. Slightly overrated.
Oh,
great offensive player, but to your point, not a great closer in the same way, like pushing the playoffs. All right, 17 is where I have Donovan Mitchell. And I honestly want to go lower, but these guys below him is like, oh, I mean, Ja will probably higher than him by the end of this year. The way Max is going, probably higher than him too. Let's give Mitch one more year, so he can actually do something in the playoffs. Last year he wasn't healthy. They tied the series against Boston, and he got hurt. So, what are you gonna do? So, Mitchell at 17 for me. 17 for you, Kris.
Give me Kyrie. He had a
really
insane season last year.
At 17, a guy who couldn't score double digits in half of his playoff games.
Stop. That guy's the heart and soul that run to the finals.
Yeah.
To the finals, not in the finals. To the finals. To the finals. Stud.
All right. Ernest, we're going to pause. We're going to find a new contributor.
I mean, this is fun, though. He's fun, though.
You got no LeBron on your list, but you're going to put Kyrie at 17.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. That's a great point, Zach.
LeBron's year 22. Are you kidding me?
And
Kyrie took his team to the finals last year. Kyrie was the best player.
Baby Robin.
Yeah, well, he went to the finals with arguably best player in basketball right now, arguably.
Hey, he outplayed Luka in the Western Conference Finals.
No, he did not. One game he outplayed Luka in.
Oh my God! All right, so we just did 17, right? Oh, did you do 17 yet?
No, not yet. So at 17, a guy who could be higher if we could trust his health and his weight. Give me Zion Williamson.
Ooh, I like it. All right. And it's all about his health and his weight. I totally agree with you on that one. All right, 16 for me. This is where I had Tyrese Halliburton.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Don't hate it.
He had a couple of games late in the playoffs last year, though. He kind of faded away. In the Knicks series, especially
he was
too.
hurt. What do you mean? He was injured.
There was one game. No, in the Knicks series, in the Boston series.
No, he faded.
He was hurt
faded
the whole second half of the season.
I get it. But if you're playing, you're healthy. If you're hurt, then go away. But Halliburton is coming. So give me 16. I think last year I had Halliburton in the 20s, I'm not mistaken. Last year I had Halliburton at 19, actually. So it's moving up. Getting respect from me. All right, 16 for you, Kris.
Give me Ja.
Love it. The return, the comeback.
Yeah.
Give us flowers. I love it. Ja Morant. All right, 16 for you, Zach.
My Orlando Magic. Pablo.
I was waiting here.
I almost put him in the list too. Also, I really wanted to.
He's gonna average 30 and 10 this season, and you're gonna say he's not even top 25.
I think in hindsight, looking at this list, I might take out Paul George and put in Paolo, but let's see another year.
Banchero was 20. Banchero was legitimately 26 for me. LeBron was 27, but Banchero was 26 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kyrie was 38th for me. So I know you don't know players, so whatever.
All right. So that was 16, right?
Yep.
All right. 15 for me. This is where I have Devin Booker. Again, he was let down for me. He was, I think, 9 last year for me. So obviously his playoff failures, especially in that playoff, that I hold that. I knocked down him and KD a ton because of that the being swept. Being swept against Minnesota. Losing Minnesota is one thing. Being swept, not good. So, Devin Booker, 15 from me. All right, what do you got 15, Kris?
I'm gonna go Tyrese Halliburton 15.
I like it. All right.
Leader, the best offense in the league.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He's coming. All right, Zach, 15.
I agree with you. Halliburton. I mean, dude would have been higher on the list had he been healthy during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, 14. This might be controversial to Zach here, but hear me out. 14, I have Jaylen Brown.
I don't hate. Don't hate at all.
Okay. Jaylen Brown is he might be. I'm looking at my list here. He might be the best wingman in the league.
Two-way wingman.
Yeah, I mean, looking right now, the best wingman in the league, probably the best Robin in the league.
He's my highest rated Robin in the league. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously the playoff run last year, when the NBA Finals MVP, the whole nine. Turn the narrative around. Yeah, he deserved it. So 14 for Jaylen Brown for me. All right, 14 for you, Kris.
Yeah, I must have him criminally low compared to you guys, but give me Brunson at 14.
I don't mind it.
You do. This is too big. I'm sorry. Can we call up my dead grandma? She's gonna know more.
I don't know if it's criminally low, but it's low. Definitely low compared to me. So no, yeah, Brunson. Why so low though? I'm just curious.
I don't know if he is Batman. Like, I mean, he put up some monster games last year, but I don't know what it is. Now that he has a super team around him, he's not going to be able to put up those like monsters. He's just going to share the ball so much this year that his stats are going to hurt so much.
I just think we've seen so much in 3 years. His last year in Dallas, and then the 2 years in New York, and the impact he's there. He's in Dallas in the conference finals with Dallas. Okay, he goes to New York and immediately turns the team around and the contenders. I'm not saying that he's not.
There's just no one I can put him ahead of in my top 13.
I mean, I get it. Here's the thing too. Also, like he was for me last year. I think he was like 21 and 22. I'll check right now. Last year I had him at was he on my list last year? I think he was on my list last year. To be honest with you. Yeah, there you go. So, where does that go? So, but yeah, I just that's a little low. But I get it.
Find 13 guys.
At least in the 15. At least in the 15. When I see a list, maybe you'll make more sense. Does Zach's phone die?
That's probably what happened.
I hope not. Let me text him. Make sure it didn't die. So we just did 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 13s were had LeBron James.
Oh my God, it's so high.
Well, wait, hold on. Wait, Zach is back. There he is. He's back. Give me a second. Zachary.
Zach, who's 14? Off the charger and it dies.
Oh, Zach, what's the 14 for you?
So at 14, I'm with you. I don't think he could carry a team to 50 wins in a season, but he is easily the best Robin in all of basketball. Jaylen Brown.
Wow, same boat. I thought you'd get mad at me because you talking about him having in top 10. I'm like, no.
I wanted to. Trust me, I looked at it at every possible angle, but I just can't do it with what's coming forward.
That's what I'm saying. This top 13 is tough for me to crack. Brunson in there.
No, it is. You're. I'm trying not to curse as much, Kris. I'm really trying.
Yeah.
My 13 is have your head spinning.
So 13 had LeBron, Zach. That's right, LeBron.
Look,
it's not top 10.
No, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, because last year I had him number 10. Hold on, let me check real quick. Last year I had.
I think last year you had him top 5, and we had to talk.
No. I had number 10 last year. I think honestly, the only reason I have LeBron that high is the Olympics. Probably influenced that too. Also, if the Olympics doesn't happen, he's probably closer to 20. Honestly.
Yeah, I just can't get past an 82 game regular season. He doesn't help. He doesn't carry the team.
Zach, I ain't mad at you. Now. Zach, you at least have in top 20. This motherfucker in the middle of the screen here didn't have it in 25 at all.
I know.
I want to
hear
anything. You're good, Zach. Trust me.
You're about to have your head spinning. I got Embiid at 13. That motherfucker can't stay healthy. I'm sorry. Your impact has to be more than 50 games.
Let me ask you a question. Was Embiid at 13 before the comments 2 days ago, a day ago about the back-to-backs?
Yeah, I've had him low for a while now. Availability is the best ability. So he's gonna.
I'm gonna say this to you. I did actually slightly adjust Embiid to my list because of those comments that you made yesterday. Not as much as you did, probably, but I did definitely adjust it. So 13. So 13, I have LeBron. 13, I have Embiid. Zach, what do you got? 13.
At 13, I have the greatest ring chaser in the history of the sport.
Uh-oh.
I have KD.
Ooh. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm at 12. So
I have him at 12 as well.
there you go. So KD 12, KD 12 from you. Perfect. Again, what's happening is seeing a lot of stars now crack that top 10. So the LeBrons are out of the top 10.
Yeah.
The KD's out of the top 10 now. And here's the thing, those two guys, they're still considered top 10-ish, elite-ish players. It's just that there's just so many great younger players in the league now that are making a sense now that you have to give them the love.
This is the time where the league has finally turned over, where the younger guys have finally stepped up enough to claim those spots. It's been a while. Like the Jimmy Butlers, the Paul Georges, those guys have held those spots because the young guys have not ascended to it yet. Now all those guys have finally fallen off.
Well, when Jimmy like 2 years ago, we said last year Jimmy wasn't in my top.
I had Jimmy
8.
at like 10 last year.
Last year,
I had him like maybe 12 or something like that.
I had him at 8 last year. So again,
yeah.
But we also said that with a caveat. I mean, knew this too, that Jimmy wouldn't be there much longer. We knew this.
Yeah.
So it's more of the precipitous fall he had for me. All right, so 12. So 12. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
Well, 12. You had KD.
I had KD.
Too,
right? So did Kris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got Ja at 12.
Nice.
Look,
Nice.
That's great.
He is certainly a top 10 player, borderline top 5, but you haven't played in a year. I can't trust you enough.
Bro, dude, the fact that I'm that high, I think it's respectable.
Yeah.
So don't no hate here at all. Trust me. That's very respectable. John Morant and 12. All right, 11. 11. This is where I have Jalen Brunson. And I almost put him in the top 10. I really did almost put him in the top 10. I really did. But again, the 3 years, the year in Dallas, the 2 years in New York now, it's the sample's there now to respect now. Like he's a winner. He's a winner. And as a team around him now, we'll see what happens. But Jalen Brunson 11 for me. Kris, what you got 11?
For me, it's like I said, him having to share the rock so much more now is why I have him lower, just because you're not going to be able to justify his spot that high. I have Jaylen Brown 11, the best Robin in basketball.
Okay. I don't hate that at all whatsoever. I don't hate it at all. 11 for you, Zach.
All right. So this was my toughest decision.
Okay.
Even harder than 25.
Because
one I know is legit top 5 when he's on the court. The other is just top 10. But this guy isn't always on the court. AD at 11.
Understandable. I have him 14.
I have 80 at 10, so yeah.
You have at 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I'm already noticing something about you, Kris. And I feel like I'm going to have to take a wiffle ball bat to you later.
What is it?
I'm not going to mention his name yet, but I think he's distinctively not come up yet.
Who, Chris Paul? Okay.
No, for Kris. For that guy's name not to come up yet.
Okay.
What, Devin Booker?
No, we'll see.
We'll see, obviously. So Zach 11, you had AD. That's understandable because AD's health. And again, last year you only missed 6 games. But the assumption is, do you think you could do it again? I don't know.
I think he's gonna have too much stress this year.
Yeah. So 10 for me, I have Steph Curry. Might be a little controversial because Steph Curry is still really great. He's still an elite player. Still relatively back in his prime, but still in his prime. But, again, the ascent of players now we're seeing in the last year or so has made this possible. So Curry at 10, it's the change in the guard. We talk about LeBron and KD being knocked out of the top 10 now. Curry's on the cusp of being in there. I gotta get Curry some love still. He's still carrying his team, but again, he's getting to that point in his career now where, okay, it's starting to get time to go. Maybe it's another year or two is his prime, but
I guess he must not watch the Olympics.
Well, again, yeah, he was great in the Olympics. But I'm saying, but again, my top 9 makes sense. So that's why it's harder. So, but Curry at 10, you guys still give him his love. I initially had Curry at like 7 and 8 initially, and then like really assessed the situation. It's like, yeah,
I would have respected you more at that point.
Huh?
I've been the biggest Curry hater. I still have him higher than that.
I know that. That's what's just crazy.
Oh my God.
So
I thought,
Kris,
like, I was borderline a heart attack because Kris is such a hater that if he left LeBron off and we had gone this far, I felt like Curry was automatically off this list.
Oh hell no, I got Curry way higher than that.
Okay.
So Kris, 10, you had who again?
80.
Yeah, 80 at 10. Okay.
He's just too good, man.
No, I get it. Zack.
So
10.
This is the guy I know who will play through a back injury, an ankle injury. He may not be the most efficient scorer, but his heart is what matters. Give me Ant at number 10.
Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Okay. So he'll be the most complicated name in this top 10 because his ascent last year, his playoff run last year, there were a lot of arguments on this podcast with my neighbors on the show where we're discussing Ant Edwards being a top 5 player, a top 10 player. We don't know. And that was a fluid conversation at the time. We'll see where we all have him in the top 10, obviously. Where's he land? We'll see. All right. So 10 for you, Ant. Number 9, this is where I have Wemby. When I initially started this list over the summer, I think I told you guys, he's definitely top 15. Let's start right there. There's a benchmark. He's cracking 15. Out the shoot. Then I really assessed the list, assessed the season, all that. I'm like, he's got to be close to top 10. And then I really crunched numbers one more time. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker's coming. So why not just award him now? Why not just state the obvious? Because right now, honestly, at this time next year, if he's top 3 on our list next year, going to next season, at this time, it's not going to surprise me. It really won't surprise me.
I initially had Wemby at 9, but I swapped him after I really looked at my list because his defensive impact is insane. So I have Ant at 9.
Okay. So yeah, Wemby higher than that, in other words. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Zack.
Oh, so this is where I get to scold you dumbasses. Literally, a guy who had to carry the Knicks at times. And you are concerned that now that he has help, he's going to regress?
That's that guy. Don't look at me.
Are you kidding me? Do you not? You only get better when you get better talent around you. Give me Bronson at number 9.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's not like they just added one more piece. He did all that without Randall. Now you're adding Cat and Bridges along with OG. Like, there's so many guys to feed now.
Okay, OG, you're not feeding a scorer. Let's be real. All right, Cat and Randall are a wash. But what you're getting is less stress on defense, a more team-oriented system with those players. So I feel like there's a little weight off his shoulders, and he's going to shine even more.
I have an 11, and I almost went to number 10 because if it wasn't for the Olympics for Curry, I would have put him at number 10, honestly.
And the pressure of playing in New York.
Yeah, that too. 3-year sample too, especially. All right, number 8 for me. This might be controversial, but this is why I have Jason Tatum.
Fuck you.
That's crazy.
Actually, no, screw that.
Crazy.
You're okay with that because you've said much more much worse things.
To put Ant-Man over Jason Tatum's crazy to me.
So the thing is, this is tough because he is an elite player. My top 9 are elite, 10, even 10 are elite players.
I don't think you understand elite when you put certain players over others.
Jason Tatum, though, however, has a requisite team around him now to the point where it almost takes away from how great he is.
This is true. This is the point I was making with Brunson.
Right. And when I started this list initially, I had Tatum on top 5. You guys know on this podcast, we've been arguing for the last couple of years about Tatum. Is he a top 5 player? Some say yes, some say no. He's on that fringe. We don't know exactly. And then as this is happening, you're seeing guys like Wemby, seeing guys like Edwards come now. Anthony Davis all of a sudden had a healthy year and shows impact. Tatum obviously impacts winning. We're not debating that. But I think there's other guys now that are showing impact, carrying less than teams with still results in a sense, minus winning the title. So that's why I put Tatum there. So it's not really a knock on Tatum. It's more so that the environment. He hasn't really changed much in the last 2-3 years. And meanwhile, we have guys like, I guess we have a debate now. Would you build a team right now around Tatum or Anthony Edwards?
Oh, I'd build it around Tatum in a heartbeat.
Over Anthony Edwards? Hell no.
You're talking about a guy playing in Boston versus a guy playing out in the middle of fucking nowhere with no pressure.
Anthony Edwards had no pressure coming into the league, had years to develop and turn into this guy.
But I'm talking about who has the bigger upside. I think it's Edwards.
Tatum. Look at all of the talent around Tatum and still look at the numbers he puts up and the leadership he provides. He never dips as low as Anthony Edwards did. You're talking about a younger player that people praise for his energy, and he ran out of gas after the second round.
If he didn't disappear against Dallas, a different story. He fucking disappeared.
The fact you have
I get it.
There's no way Ant is a better player than Tatum.
I can't believe you have Tatum under Embiid. That's a joke.
I know. It's tough. I know. But 8 for me is Tatum. I get it. He was number 5 when I started this list, and then as I started crunching numbers and looking at the situations, like, yeah, this is hard. It was not easy. I'll tell you that. It was not easy.
You guys are gonna hate me for number 8, but this guy's taking his team to the finals. Devin Booker. Give me the guy who's taken his team to the finals, has done it. He's always, every year, 27 points, rebounds, assists. He's playing better defense every year now. Under Coach Bud, I think he's going to have a monster year this year, a big redemption year for Devin Booker. Coming off the gold medal, the whole 9. Give me Devin Booker.
He better. He has a lot of stink on him right now. He better. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he stopped playing defense 2 years ago, first off. And I feel like when the offense needs a score, they still lean on KD. Like
they will.
Like Booker is still the number 2 on that team.
I don't know if I'll say that. KD's just so unguardable in certain situations. How do you turn him down?
He's unguardable and super efficient.
It's just one of those things where he's still, I think, Batman in Phoenix. But in a certain, it's like the Kareem skyhook. That play was unguardable. If you needed a basket, you're going to go to Kareem every time. KD's just one of those guys where he can elevate and no one's blocking his jump shot.
Exactly.
Except for Wemby.
You're saying all this and you have his teammate at 8.
Yeah, because he's consistently a better player overall.
What?
He's been doing it for a decade now. Give me Devin Booker.
Oh my God, Chris.
Isn't that crazy though? He's been in the league for 10 years. That went fast. He was younger.
Well, you didn't notice him for the first 6 years of his career.
I did, because in those 6 years he was overrated. Remember?
Yeah, and he was just like with Chris putting this out, way overrated. What the hell?
You guys make him underrated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Zach, number 8 for you. I'm really curious.
This is the changing of the guard, and I hate to say it, and he probably really isn't this low, but there is nobody on his team. Steph,
really that low?
Yes, I do. Even
I don't have
over a
Curry
guy
the
who
highest.
said he's only going to play 50 games.
Steph Curry 8.
Yeah. Steph, don't hate me, man. Look, you got no help. I want you to go on vacation for 3 months in the middle of the season. Preserve your life.
That's crazy.
That's why I have him so much higher this year, because I know he's got to put up insane stats.
Interesting. All right, number 7
So
for
sad
you.
what
Well,
he's being given
actually,
at the end.
number 7 for me. Number 7 for me, Anthony Davis. I'm gonna take a leap of faith that he's gonna have another healthy-ish year this year. He's the difference between the Lakers going to the conference finals, possible finals, and missing the playoffs altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Very few players have that kind of swing. Even with a guy like LeBron James, who's still relatively a top 15 player, in my opinion, in the league. And yet, you lose that guy, you're not a playoff team. Even LeBron being there. So,
Absolutely.
I gotta give 80 is 80 is the best player on that team, without question. And last year you saw that. You saw last year when he's healthy, this team they won 47 games last year.
I will almost forgive you for your ignorance on Tatum for just admitting that AD is the best player on the Lakers.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, number 7 for you, Kris.
Give me Wemby.
Love it.
The best defensive player in the entire league, and
Already.
he's probably gonna win 10 straight defensive player of the year. His impact when you watch the game and how many dudes drive out of the paint is unbelievable. He should have won last year. It was a joke that Gobert won. Only because team success did he win that.
They just didn't want to give it to a rookie. That was all it was.
Impact is unreal on that side of the ball. That even if he improves by a couple points per game and 1 rebound, 1 assist, he's still that good. I would never have thought his impact on defense would be as good as it was. Yeah, give me Wemby at 7. And this is only this is probably the lowest he'll be in the next 10 years.
Yep, I love it. I fucking love it. All right, number 7 for you, Zachary.
So again, Curry, I'm really sorry. I put a 50-game player in front of you, but for 50 games, he does dominate.
Embiid.
Yeah. I mean, for the games he plays, he dominates and he carries his team.
Yes, he's insane.
But he'll never reach top 5 status again because he's acknowledged he doesn't even want to play.
I had him out in the top 5 last year, so I'm all for it.
All right. Number 6 for me. This is where I have Ant. I'm taking. I know I'm taking a leap of faith here on Anthony Edwards on this one. Yeah, he got burned on the playoffs, the whole 9, but that dude's a dog, and I'm buying it. I'm just buying into that mantra that he's just like he's everything I wish Jason Tatum was in terms of the attitude. So I'm gonna. He's young enough. He doesn't give a shit. He's an old. He's an old school kind of guy. I don't know, man. I think he's gonna. You looking at top 3 MVP candidates this year. Probably he's probably in the conversation. Possibly.
No.
If they cross 54 wins this year, he'll be in the conversation.
He'll be in the conversation for sure. They're that successful. He will be.
Yeah. So at 6 for me. Who got 6, Kris?
I got Jason Tatum at 6.
Okay.
Still, if he wins Finals MVP, cracks top 5. But for me, the fact that he probably still should have won Finals MVP, but
overall, he had a better series.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where he's on a super team, and that's going to hurt him for as long as that's going to happen. If he didn't have as much help, he's probably already top 5 easily. But the fact that he has so much help is going to hurt him statistically, and that's why I can't crack him into that elite 5 that I have.
That's what I'm saying. That him adding Drew Holiday and KP last year only hurt his chances of being in that top thing because
KP played 1 freaking game in the playoffs.
He played
2 games. What was it?
Yeah, a little more than that. But KP being there last year as much as he was enough.
Yeah, but that's the reason why they were so successful in the regular season too, Zach.
Yeah, exactly. 6 more wins.
Yeah, because KP missed half the season, comes back, plays a few games, Yeah. Nothing to do with Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum.
And Drew Holiday, and of course Derek White was getting all-star chatter too. Also, no big deal.
Exactly.
Come on, Zach. Be
Horford
fair.
was balling out.
Yeah, be fair. All right, number 6 for you, Zach. Who you got?
Okay. Now, with all apologies to this guy, you do deserve to be in top 5.
But
I couldn't do it. Wemby, I'm sorry. Next year, you'll probably be number 1 for me. But this year, you're going to have to stick to being number 6.
that's the wrong
I
bet.
have to give some respect to last year's players.
Wow, yeah. I thought I was doing something. Having Wemby my top, my number 9. You guys are fucking worse than me.
I really believe Wemby could go for 30 to 35 a game, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks with no problem. No problem at all.
That's a little high.
You already said it. You already said it. People are scared to go down low.
Oh, his impact is insane.
Yeah.
Guys literally run out of the paint when they see him. They run out of the paint.
If he'd have played enough games earlier, he'd have been averaging over 5 blocks for half the season.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
All right, time for everyone's top 5.
All right, top 5, guys. Here we go. Number 5. Don't get mad at me. This is why I have Joel Embiid. Now,
yeah, of course. You're like the fucking ESPN dude. Are you
no. But let me quantify this one. What I'm going to say here. He said back-to-back games he'll be playing. That hasn't happened yet. If he does it, then next year will make adjustments next year. He's saying that. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You saw last
year. Not a contract here this year.
You didn't hear what Daryl Morey said? Daryl Morey himself said he is not playing back-to-back.
I didn't see Daryl Morey say that. I saw Joel Embiid that said that. He said that.
I thought Joel Embiid said he wouldn't play if there was a spider on the court.
Yeah, I didn't see Daryl Morey, co-sign that.
So Daryl Morey said Paul George and Embiid ain't playing no back-to-backs. And then they asked him, and he said, if it was up to me, I'd never play a back-to-back. So that just reinforced him being soft as fuck.
Now, Joel Embiid, we saw last year when he was literally the MVP of the league on a way to back-to-back MVPs, best record in the Eastern Conference. He gets hurt, things fall apart. He comes back, they surge again, make the playoffs. Even in losing cause, scoring 50 points a couple times against the Knicks in the playoffs. He's that good. He's very frustrating. Obviously, we discussed it on the last episode we did, the season preview. He's very frustrating as a player in terms of his style of play, in terms of not staying healthy, in terms of the comments, all that. But what we do know is this fact is that he's just a phenomenal player. So, the back-to-back thing, if it does happen, obviously we'll make massive adjustments. In fact, part of me wants you to just throw him out on the top 10 because of that shit. But for now, I'm going to hold the panic for the time being. Let's see how they play him this year. And name number 5. So, go ahead, Kris. Number 5 for you.
I think I've had this guy number 5 for the past. This is going to mark 3 years in a row for me. I believe it's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He's still He's going to put up a fucking monstrous. Now he may drop double digits next year, just because I'll project him to get hurt or something like that because he'll be older. But this year, he's going to put up a fucking insane season. So he's still locked into top 5 for me.
No, I like it. Okay. Zachary, number 5 for you.
So, this is a guy who's been to 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Right? He has been the face of the franchise in the most disrespectful media center there is, Boston. And he's taken every arrow possible. And nobody gives him any respect for it. Jason Tatum at number 5.
I knew it was coming. I get it.
Dude could average 30, but he's a team player. Dude could be a 30 and 10, double-double every night if he wanted. But he's a team player. When they lose, he goes in front of the cameras no matter what. This is what you call a true leader and a true top 5 player.
He's a nice guy, too, also. I can't hate the guy. For as much as I can't say the Celtics, man, he's a nice guy. You know, he's a good representative. Is he a top 10 Celtic all time already?
I mean, he's top 5 Celtic in my lifespan, but to go back before 1980, I don't know.
I mean, because you would go obviously Bird and Russell 1 and 2, where you want it, Russell and Bird.
Oh, I mean, if I were to go back, you're gonna go like Russell, Bird.
I don't think you still put him ahead of Paul Pierce right now, to be honest.
You would
my
Paul
God,
Pierce yet?
yes, you do.
I would not, dude. I would not even without the ring.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
Oh my God, come on, man!
I'm also a hater.
Paul Pierce is the best player on that fucking championship team.
I also can't stand Paul Pierce. So to be fair, I'm being a bit of a dick.
Paul Pierce had longevity. He had a long.
I'll give him that. So real quick,
do you know how many fucking times 1-on-1 he demolished LeBron? Stop.
No, not demolish him. Stop. The team beat him, LeBron. Not demolish him. Get out of here.
Paul Pierce still put up 40 points on LeBron. They're guarding each other.
Took 40 shots. So what's that?
Okay, so let's have a conversation real quick. So top 10 Celtics all time. No order. Bird, Russell, Havlicek. Who else put in that list? Would you put McHale in the top 10?
McHale's top 10. Wouldn't you put their coach who also won like eight rings, Green or something?
Green.
I can't remember fucking names.
I just said Havlicek.
Oh, you're talking about Sam Jones, maybe?
Sam Jones. Yeah, Sam Jones. There you go.
Kuzi,
yep.
See, I don't know if I put up all those fucking old guys. They're on super teams winning fucking 8 out of 10 years.
That's why I said Tatum's easy top 5 if we're going from my lifespan from 1980 on. I don't want to disrespect anything previous, but if we're going
tough to compare like those eras.
He's probably 3.
Stop.
Havlicek,
Big Baby Davis.
Get out of here. Stop. Kevin Garnett, top 10 now?
No.
Garnett, no?
He was in like 4 years.
More than that. More than that. About 6, 7 years. But pretty impactful one.
I'll put Rondo ahead of Kevin Garnett.
Stop.
As an all-time Celtic, I think Kris might be right. I mean,
Rondo's definitely ahead of KG all-time Celtic.
Save that for, you know what, for the Basketball Retro podcast we do, when I bring that back out very soon, that's a topic we'll use. Top 10 Celtic all-time, we rank them.
Yeah, now you're going to make me do homework. Hell, at this point, you know what? He might even be number 2 ahead of McHale. Just because of what he's done to carry the team.
Hell, if we're going that far, then Jaylen Brown's in the top 10 too also, then, if we're going to go that far.
Well, yeah, if we're going from 1980 on, Jaylen Brown's probably top 6.
I'll tell you what, 7. this one ring definitely changes the conversation because they've gone to a lot of conference finals too in the 7 years, 8 years been together. So that helps.
That's what I'm saying. That championship is what put him over the top. Yeah. That's what puts him neck and neck with like Paul Pierce. So he essentially is Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, dynamic scorer, rebounding, doing the whole 9 for so many years, taking him to the playoffs.
And only getting to the first and second round, not conference finals.
No.
Not losing in the finals.
I would argue that the league is so much different now than it was back then.
You would put Antoine Walker in top 5.
The East has been shit for quite a while.
Reggie Lewis.
The fucking East has been straight garbage that they've been dominating. So
save that topic for a future Basketball Retro podcast topic. Top 10 Celtics all time. I'll rank them and go from there. All right. So 5. 5. You got Tatum, Zach, right?
Yeah, we're on 4 now.
All right. 4.
I think we all have the same number 4.
SGA 4.
Yep.
SGA 4. Yeah.
It's happened. Top 5 player.
Even though he's my MVP this year, I still have number 4.
Okay. I'm going to assume that we have the same top 4, maybe a slight tweak, probably between 2 and 3. I think. Maybe
I think we have a slight change between 1 and 2.
Okay, hold on. Number 3, I have Giannis.
Same.
Kris.
When I first made my list, I had Giannis number 1, and
come on.
I mean, I don't hate it, but no, I don't.
And then I really thought about it, and I have him at 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at first, I had him the first thing I put on my page was Giannis number 1. Because I thought he'd have like a really big bounce back year. But I really thought about like Doc Rivers' coach and shit. And I was like, nothing's going to change. He's going to have like a he's just getting hurt too much too because he's having to do too much. So that's why I'm not putting him at 3.
Yeah, 2 in a row. And again, another guy with the championship window shrinking very fast. Not because he's not young enough, but because his style of play is not conducive to a long term career unless he adds a outside game, which right now
until he has a consistent 3, it's gonna be tough for him.
If he was KD, has some of the KD stuff, then I say another 10 years. But no.
He'd probably been number 1 for quite a while now. Yeah,
exactly.
If Giannis had a consistent 3-point shot, he'd be number 1 for fucking ever.
Or just a consistent mid-range shot.
Yeah.
If he had a shot like Duncan from 18 feet off the glass.
Let's say, and at that point, he'd actually be shooting 80% from the free throw line too. That would probably help him out too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, his window, honestly, is probably 2 years right now. So, a championship window, in other words. Unless he goes to a contender, of course. All right, number 2, I have Luka. Kris?
I still have Luka number 2. At the end of the day, until he gets past like the whole whining and shit and this and the other, he kind of did that, but he's still like right there where he's just complaining too much and he's still slacking just enough on defense to where I just can't make him the number 1 player in the league. Right. But he's been number 2 for me, I think, 3 years now.
Right. I'm assuming Zach has Jokic at 2.
Yeah.
Why'd you slip? Why change?
Simple. Who is the king of the West?
I mean, it's fair.
It's fair. I don't hate the argument, but just
Luka does the exact same stuff as Jokic, right? They both slow down the game. They both are a little up and down with their 3-point. When they're hot, they're hot. They can hit from anywhere on the court, but they prefer a mid-range game. They can facilitate and they help everybody score. But you know who got a little further this year? Doncic.
I would argue,
and he deserves the credit for doing that.
I would argue though, Jokic is a better defender than Luka right now.
I think he has an easier position. I would
argue it's a little harder for Luka to score at his height versus the Joker.
I just think Joker's position's a little easier to defend at this point.
Yeah, that I agree with, of course. I feel like there's no okay. So I have obviously Kris and I have Jokic number 1. That's obvious. Yeah. Would you say that Luka has probably the most pressure now coming to the year individually to not win a title? Of all the players in the league now, who's ringless, he's under the most pressure.
I don't even think a ringless player has the most pressure to win a ring.
Yeah.
KD will, until the day KD retires, he will always have the absolute most pressure to win a ring.
Do you think the narrative will change on the KD if he wins the ring in Phoenix? I'm not necessarily certain that's going to happen anymore.
I think wherever he ends up winning a ring will change the narrative as long as he's one of the top 2 players on the team. But if we're going ringless players, wouldn't it have to be Devin Booker?
No.
I think because he hasn't even gotten to not just the finals, but just the Eastern Conference Finals. I think Embiid will always have the most pressure because he has not even advanced to past the second round of the playoffs. Yeah. So for me alone, he's just been the most disappointing player year after year.
The only reason why I'll agree with that with Embiid is for different reasons, though. Embiid's window is shorter than Luka's. Luka's a longer window right now at this point. Embiid's window is probably 2 years now.
So if Embiid's window is shorter, wouldn't that put even more pressure on him?
On Embiid, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. The only reason why I put Embiid probably, if anything, he's probably the only guy with the most pressure to win a ring. I think Giannis too. If we power rank put pressure players with most pressure, top 5. I probably go Embiid 1, Luka 2, but it could be close to 1A, 1B. I think Giannis has a lot of pressure going to also because again window.
Even though he's already won a ring?
Yeah, because you get that second ring. It's because that second ring separates you. It separates you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, because now if you win 2 rings now you're in that top 15 discussion now all time.
If you were by far and you put up a performance like Giannis in the finals, I don't think you need that.
No, I think you do.
He hyperextended his knee in Game 7. and then came back and just shit on fucking the Suns after going down 0-2, winning 4 straight, dropping like 40 and 20 every game. Come on.
I had to
I think
agree
that
with
solidified him.
No, I see what you're saying, but how many people actually talk about that performance anymore? Honestly.
Why? But why wouldn't Booker? Okay, even if you think that Luka and Embiid have more pressure, how could Booker and KD not have more pressure versus Giannis when Giannis at least took his own team to a finals and won it?
I would argue, if anything, KD has more pressure than Booker. I don't think people look at Booker as a clear number one guy, honestly.
Yeah, but Booker was the best player on that team that went to the finals that year.
Yeah, but people didn't think they'd win it anyway that year.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the reason why Booker's doesn't have that much pressure is because they're not going to blame him if this thing doesn't work. They're going to blame Beal for being hurt. They're going to blame KD for not making it work. Booker's never going to, because he's always been like that guy in Phoenix. And that's why, now, granted, the pressure's only there because that year that Luka dominated them and he did not show up in Game 7. That's what Zach's pointing out, is that there's been a couple Game 7s where he just never showed up. Like, that team got blown out the fucking water.
Yeah.
That was a bad look
against Dallas. Right?
That was a bad look for him. But then they went to the finals the very next year, and that's why that stigma went away. Is because of that. He got rid of that stink so fast.
Yeah, but the problem was the year that they went.
Because he went from... Yeah, but still, I mean, Giannis put out a Hall of Fame performance that finals. And that's why no one's ever going to blame Devin Booker for that.
Does Damian Lillard still have pressure to win a ring? Or is
less
he
pressure
now an afterthought?
No, because he's behind Giannis, so there's no pressure. People don't look at Giannis the Dame as a top 20 potential player. Like, if you're potentially a top 25 player, 21 player all time, you got pressure. Like, even Jokic has some pressure to some degree, but because
he's won 3 MVPs, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but isn't there pressure for your legacy? Maybe be a top 75 player?
No, that's not the pressure.
Jokic's career right now tracks like Aaron Rodgers. He's got the ring and a shit ton of MVPs, but he's had so many. And Giannis is kind of the same way, where Giannis with back-to-back MVPs, he's won the ring, but every time he gets bounced, it's early. It's not like Tatum, where they're going deep every year and then they're losing. They're getting bounced like first round.
The only difference in Rodgers, though, is that Rodgers won his ring so early in his career that people forget he won a ring. People forget, oh, yeah, I won a ring. Oh, yeah, 15 years ago.
He won the ring the year his defense led in takeaways and scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the best defense in the league that year. And after that, he never did anything.
And this thing, too, also, I mean, I haven't seen your list in a while, but how many top 15 players in the NBA all time have one ring? I don't think anyone on my list has less than 2 rings on my list.
Dirk would be the only guy.
Maybe Dirk.
It's not my 15.
He's fringe.
Yeah, Dirk is fringe.
He's 25.
Yes,
definitely.
to make a list, but
right? Because
if
KD's
was
on
a top 15 player, it'd be Dirk.
He'd be the only.
He'd be probably the only one.
There's actually top 20 players on my list that actually are ringless.
Oh, I have none of those in my top 10.
I think Charles Barkley and Karl Malone have a case to be made for that. So, but again, second rings give you an extra layer of, okay, you are definitely that dude. You are him.
That second ring gives you top 20 status for competition.
20.
I just hate how the league's built now, where it's just so many non-contenders and so many super teams and that's why Dirk's one ring elevates him so high. It's because he was probably the last one-man team that's going to do it.
And not only that, and with context, it's not just win the ring. It's who he beat, not just in the finals, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he stopped the Lakers three-peat. He beat the young OKC Thunder, upcoming Thunder, and then he beat the Miami Heat, Big Three. So, yeah.
So
he's the only one in modern times. So,
but at the end of the day, no one's going to blame Giannis because the team construction was a little off, and we're not going to blame him. He doesn't have as much pressure. I think if they get swept round 1 again, they'll still blame Doc Rivers for it more than anybody else.
But the pressure for
they'll
Giannis
probably blame Chris Middleton for not playing.
But the pressure for Giannis is similar to Embiid though. It's more about the window.
No.
It's more about the window style play. Because again, if Giannis had even half the game that KD had from the perimeter, I don't give a shit. He'll find a ring. He'll find another ring some point in the next 5-6 years. But because Giannis style play is so conducive to breaking down at some point in the next couple of years,
I don't worry about
he's going to evolve.
I would never worry about
unless he evolves. Was that Zach?
I would never worry about Giannis. He could evolve.
Okay.
But Embiid, what can Embiid evolve into? Nothing.
No, I agree. Between two guys, give me first of all, I'll make it clear here. It beat him a 1 period. Even hit a Luka.
Yeah.
Because again, the window size is smaller for Embiid than for Luka. Luka's a lot other side. But Luka has been to the finals now. Now what? You know what I'm saying? So
and he plays in the tougher conference.
That's true. So he'll be.
I just think at the end of the day, Embiid being in the East and never advancing from the second round will always have the most pressure on him.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you, Chris.
We shall see. So again, I had Jokic at 1. The Kris and Jokic at 1. Zach had Luka at 1, and we had Luka 2, and Zach had Jokic at 2.
Yeah.
So anyway, great episode again, guys. That was awesome. Another hour.
I love the NBA.
Oh God, 5 days away as we're recording. So cannot wait for the NBA season to start. Cannot wait.
Can't wait for the parlays.
That too. First full year now of gambling here in Florida for the NBA. Can't wait. All right, guys. Good job as always.
All right.
Wait, what?
Thank you.